For cattlemen, few things are more frustrating than trying to move or load cattle who just won't cooperate. Safe and effective cattle handling is a skill that continually needs to be sharpened. And there are a few new ideas, out there about the most effective means for handling cattle. At the recent NCBA Cattle Industry Convention, reporter Brad Bulla talked with a pair of experts in low-stress cattle handling.
The role of a stockman is to create movement in cattle and then control and manage that movement. But applying too much pressure can often harm cattle more than help them. Studies have shown that increased levels of stress in animals can have a negative impact on their health.
For the most part, everybody has learned to work livestock by pushing them and trying to force them into an area, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's an easier way to do it.
For some people, it's real difficult, and if you want to change or if you want to learn and see new things, it's just like the horse world, It took a long time to change some folks, and now the movement started, and everybody's on the bandwagon. So I think the movement has started in the beef cattle industry as well.
Many producers are turning to low-stress methods in order to improve their cattle handling. These techniques take advantage of the animal's natural tendencies and teach producers how to move them in a way that's easier on the cowboy and the cattle. The key is to understand how a cow thinks and try not to work against that.
Cattle want to see you. They want to go around you naturally. They want to go to and be with other cattle. So taking advantage of all those natural instincts, and by the way we position ourselves and the way we start and manage the movement in cattle, can make it a lot easier throughout the day in gathering, processing, shipping cattle.
One of the big problems is we have a habit-formed society where we do certain things a certain way to survive in our human life. It's almost just the opposite with cattle. So we got to change our mindset to fit the corral rather than fit the interstate highway. So it's not push, 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 fast, fast, fast. It's changing to meet the animal's needs, to get them to do what our needs are.
And I think we need, like we said before, change our mindset, work from the front of those cattle, draw them to us rather than force them to go away from us.
Dr. Gill says it's all about using your body position to get cattle to go where you want them to go. Distance, angles, and speed are all important factors when communicating with cattle.
Trying to work more in concert with the cow and their natural instincts rather than trying to force cattle to go somewhere. If you have the cattle trying to flee away from you or fight you, you've lost the game. And so you have to prevent them from going into that natural instinct of predator-prey relationship and trying to get away from you or fight you off. If that's what happens, it's a long day.
In fact, there's truth to the idea that the only way to work cattle quickly is to work cattle slowly. Patience is especially a virtue when it comes to loading cattle.
When we start loading cattle or putting them in a chute, loading them anywhere, we tend to get in a hurry and we get to pushing on the animals. And that creates a fear through the animals that cause them to resist or try to get away. And so loading cattle, the main thing is to slow down, get the cattle pointed the right way, then put the pressure on.
These two experts say when you lower the stress on cattle, you increase their performance. This will lead to better efficiency, gains, and health, which will make your herd more valuable.
And it's that simple. It's more difficult sometimes to do that, but that's getting the cattle to think it's their idea, getting them to think about what you want them to do, and then putting the pressure on them to make them follow through.
We think that's the main focus that should be put on it, is the profit potential. It's virtually all you have to do. There's no input cost. It just takes some time and training of yourself to learn to train your cattle to work better. And so it's the one thing we see that doesn't cost money that can increase profit.
And an increase in profit opportunities is a good way to help relieve stress for cattlemen, too. For NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen, I'm Brad Bulla.
The Beef Quality Assurance Program provides many educational materials about a variety of topics, including low-stress cattle handling. For more information, visit cattlementocattlemen.org.